Cooper Flagg just put the entire NBA on notice after an amazing second half performance in a nail-biting overtime win over the Portland Trail Blazers. In a game where it started out just like any other game this season, where the offense was pretty much non-existent. We were down by as much as 10 at one point, but things did not look bleak. We were actually making good use of our possessions. No more wasted possessions where we are great on defense and just horrible on offense. Things were clicking for us. And then we forced yet again another overtime game where Cooper Flagg did not miss a single shot in overtime to help the Mavericks get their fourth win on the season. So in this video, we're going to take a look at tonight's game against the Trailblazers, the good, the bad, the ugly, and of course, who stood on business. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 22,926 subscribers. We are getting so close to 25K. I can almost taste it. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, from live streams, news vids, rumors, and everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But tonight's game was, to some people, a scheduled loss. The Dallas Mavericks have a pretty rough schedule ahead of them, with everything considered, with all of our injuries. Not many people had faith that the Dallas Mavericks were going to walk away with a win tonight. The Portland Trail Blazers are not the Portland Trail Blazers of old. They were, before this game, 6-6, with a pretty decent record, with a pretty decent young core. With several key injuries, the Dallas Mavericks were able to take advantage of that and come out with the win. But it wasn't without fighting, as we did go into overtime again, the second overtime in the last several days. But we were able to walk away with the win, and that's all that matters. And like I said in the intro, this game started out is exactly as you thought. The offense was not really there. It was flowing. Things looked good. We weren't having too many wasted possessions. The defense was defensing, but the offense was not offensing. It was just what you would expect from the Dallas Mavericks all season long. We were down by as many as 10 points and things looked bleak until things started to click. It wasn't necessarily one person alone that was able to fix things, but it was the entire team. From Klay Thompson actually hitting his shots, 19 points off the bench, which gave us that spark. From D'Angelo Russell, able to be contained, as we didn't allow him to play in overtime at all, but he was still able to help the team in a positive way. Max Christie, with his late threes and his defense. PJ, who's finally back from injury, was the catalyst in all of this. And the cherry on top was that Cooper Flagg was amazing. Didn't really have that good of a first half, only 2 points, but in that second half, from every Mavericks fan yelling and screaming for Cooper Flagg to be aggressive and to take over and to just take the shot, he listened. Our prayers were answered, and Cooper Flagg came out in the second half with just amazing bucket after bucket after bucket. You could tell that he wanted it, and that bled all the way into overtime, where Cooper Flagg was in full control of the game. He was getting to the line. He was making his free throws. He was attacking the basket, playing good defense outside the perimeter for whatever reason. If you shoot a three on Cooper Flagg, it'll probably go in. But regardless of the lack of perimeter defense, Cooper Flagg made a statement tonight that he is a winner and he is tired of losing. But if we go ahead and take a look at the box score from tonight's game, from the top, Daniel Gafford had an amazing game tonight, looking like the starting center that he is. Had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, and it was absolutely amazing. Daniel Gafford also was 8 of 10 from the free throw line. I love the fact that we have a center in Daniel Gafford who we can play in clutch moments, in crunch time, where if he gets fouled, he got to go to the line. I can rest assured and know that he will make those free throws. As well as PJ Washington, who's back from injury, had 21 points, was also 5 of 7 from 3. Thank you, PJ, for the 3J. He also had 7 rebounds, 2 assists. But in PJ fashion, he did have 5 turnovers with 1 steal. And I'm not too upset by that. With a Dallas Mavericks team that doesn't have the best three-point shooting, when PJ's shot is falling from 3, it's a blessing. It's a godsend. He is one of the many reasons why we won this ball game. Cooper Flagg, the man of the hour, had 21 points. He was only 1 of 3 from 3, but he was 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Had 8 rebounds, 5 assists with 1 steal and 2 blocks. Cooper Flagg was everywhere. Now, like I said, the perimeter defense, very questionable. I'm not sure if he's just not closing out that well or not pressuring the perimeter, but whenever someone shoots a 3 over Cooper Flagg, it probably goes in. But regardless, if it wasn't the perimeter defense, everywhere else his defense was amazing. Whether he was picking them up full court, at half court, the interior, getting blocks, getting steals, going in transition, and everyone knows Cooper Flagg's game lies in the transition. That's what he's great at, and that was on full display in the second half. Not too much deferring, not too much playing passive and passing the ball and passing up shots. He was hungry in the second half, and he wanted it so bad. You could see that in overtime. He wanted this win so bad, and he got it. But he also had help from Brandon Williams, who has been looking amazing lately. Had 15 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, only one turnover, 1 steal. And, I mean, that's exactly what you want from Brandon Williams. We know that he can score. He can attack the basket. That 3 ball has been very, very questionable lately. But the 6 assists and 1 turnover, I'll gladly take that any day of the week. I think we have definitely found our starting point guard. And then, of course, Max Christie, always reliable, always steady, always consistent. Had 14 points, was 3 of 6 from 3, with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Love the defense. I love the 3 and D in total from Max Christie. It was definitely needed. And off the bench, Najee Marshall had 9 points, as well as 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. We can always rely on a pretty solid game from Najee. Derrick Lively fouled out today, and he only had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. The thing about Derrick Lively is, ever since he came back from his injury, it's been a little bit uninspiring. Of course, it's going to take some time. He's on minutes restriction. He's going to have to get his legs back from up under him, so I'll give him grace. But we need Derrick Lively to pick it up. Daniel Gafford looked amazing tonight. Why couldn't that have been Derrick Lively? I mean, I'm glad it was one and not none, but at the same time, Derrick Lively fouling out, and I'll throw the box score back up. I mean, Derrick Lively getting outplayed by Moussa Cisse in back-to-back games. I mean, Derrick Lively had 2 points. Moussa had 5. Yes, Moussa only had 1 rebound and only 1 block, but overall, Moussa, over the last 2 games, has been more of a positive than Derrick Lively, but I have faith that Derrick Lively will bounce back. But we also had a pretty good game from Klay Thompson, who had 19 points, 5 of 11 from 3, which you love to see. Had 3 points, 2 assists, only 1 turnover with 1 block. And that's what I love from Klay. I mean, he played about 26 minutes, pretty solid minutes off the bench. And a lot of people were worried that Klay Thompson would not want to come off the bench. That's not what he's here for. Disrespectful to Klay. But he's taken that role in stride. He's taken pride in that role, coming off the bench and being a spark plug. I mean, last game and this game, he's been one of our best scorers off the bench, outscoring some of our starters. And if that's what it takes for Klay Thompson to give us the best that he has to offer, then so be it. Hopefully he can also see that this is where he excels, and this might be where he belongs. But to finish up the box score, D'Angelo Russell finished with 12 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers, and I absolutely love what I saw from D'Lo. We didn't allow him to do too much. Like I've said before, D'Angelo Russell, as we all know, he's kind of up and down. And you want to give him a leash to go out there and do what he does best, but you want to reel him in when things get a little shaky. But tonight's win was huge for the Dallas Mavericks, not only for the fans to finally witness a win after a very long drought of games where we're just losing back-to-back, but also it's good for the players. These reps, these overtime games, these clutch moments where before tonight we were 2-8. The biggest in the league. We were 2-8 in clutch moments where, yeah, our defense is so good, we will have a lot of clutch moments, but our offense has been so bad that we can't capitalize on those clutch moments. And it was also kind of sad that about half of our games were won in the clutch. Kind of embarrassing, but these are the type of wins that you want to build upon. It's good experience for Cooper Flagg, good experience for the team overall to be in those high pressure, high stress moments, and you got to figure out how to win. Only 5 minutes on the overtime clock. How are you going to respond? In tonight's game, they definitely responded. But we got to talk about one player in particular of who stood on business. And honestly, I don't think you can pick a wrong player, but I'm going to pick Cooper Flagg, who had 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He had no turnovers. He had a few blocks. He was doing everything you needed and more. But we're going to take a look at a few other things really quick. One thing that a lot of fans have been calling out, that Cooper Flagg is too passive. He passes the ball too much. There's not enough of that dog in him, no takeover. But a lot of people point out that he plays the right way. He wants to get his team involved, and he only wants to make the right play, something he's afraid to fail. But Cooper Flagg in the first half tonight, 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting. In the second half and overtime, he had 19 points on 8 of 13 shooting. Clutch. Mavericks win. And on top of all of that, like I said, it wasn't just Cooper Flagg, it was a team effort. Cooper Flagg had 21 points, 8 rebounds with 5 assists, shot 9 of 16. PJ, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 16 shooting. Daniel Gafford, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, 5 of 7 shooting. And Klay Thompson with 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 11 from the floor. The Dallas Mavericks get the win. Like I said, hard-fought win. We've been on a drought, it feels like. Tomorrow we have a very tough matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which, Who knows what's going to happen? You could say it's a scheduled loss, but the way this team plays, a scheduled loss could be a trap game for our opponents that end in a win for us, but it's only if we play the right way. Not just Cooper Flagg having an amazing second half, but for the entirety of the Dallas Mavericks to stay together, play that they played tonight, and hopefully we can see a few more wins. But the last thing that I want to look at tonight with you guys, Mavs Muse tweeted out saying that the Mavs would be 12-2 if they won all their clutch games this season, second best record in the entire league, all while dealing with these injuries. This team has no ceiling. And that's the truth. Knowing that we don't have Anthony Davis, we don't have Kyrie Irving, we don't have several other players like Dante Exum. We know that some players are dealing with injuries, some major, some minor, but the Mavericks still somehow find a way to keep things pretty interesting. Makes you wonder what this team looks like when they are fully healthy. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think stood on business? I don't think there's a wrong answer. I'd have to say it was Cooper Flagg. But if you think it's someone else, let me know. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all, take care. Drink water. Peace.